Hunt here. I'm going to talk about microphones today, do a little mic tutorial. Raise your hand if you're confused about all the stuff that you've seen online or heard from people about microphones, confusing terminology, a gazillion different kinds of mic. You thought to yourself, hey, I want to get into podcasting or do a little home recording. I'll go out and find what users think is a good microphone. Impossible to traverse that morass. Dynamic microphones, condenser microphones, what is phantom power? Do you need a Cloudlifter? What's analog to digital conversion? Do I need that stuff? I've heard about USB mics. We're going to simplify and talk about all of that right now. This right here is an AudioTechnica 2100. It's ATR 2100 X USB. I mean, I can't even memorize that name. We need a better name for this mic, but we'll just call it the 2100. It's $99. It's a dynamic microphone, and I'm going to tell you why I like this microphone. For one, it's affordable. For two, it's dynamic. What's so great about a dynamic microphone? Basically means that you've got to be right up on the microphone for it to work. If I'm over here, or if I'm over here, or if I'm inconsistent, or if I'm a foot away, you're not going to hear enough volume. The dynamic microphone is not going to pick up every little sound in the background that might be annoying, like the hum of a computer, or the whooshing of air conditioning going on in the background, or a baby crying, or just a poor sounding room that isn't acoustically treated. This microphone has on the back of it a headphone jack, so you can plug headphones directly into it for zero latency monitoring. This is a USB dynamic microphone, which means it plugs right into your computer. So it's simple for podcasting. You don't need any analog to digital conversion. That happens in the microphone. I've also got a windscreen on this one. This little black foam piece on the top is a windscreen. I would recommend it. It comes with an internal windscreen on the 2100, but you still hear the plosives, they're called, and some breathing. The plosives are just P's and B's. Here with the windscreen, it's muting those P's and B's. Also, if you're speaking, you should just try to chill when you say a P or a B, if possible. There's a lot of benefits of the dynamic microphone. This one for $99 sounds pretty darn good. Another stud dynamic microphone is the Shure SM7. It's a classic, and this one has been used on some of the greatest records of all time, everything from Michael Jackson's Thriller to it's used by Eddie Vedder, Sheryl Crow, Tom Petty, like everyone. So let's compare, just for fun, the AudioTechnica 2100 dynamic microphone and this Shure dynamic microphone and see what the differences are. Okay, let's go back to the AudioTechnica 2100 and see how that sounds. Okay, this one that I've been using, this is the 2100. And now here's the Shure SM7. And here, again, is the Shure comparison. Now let's go back to the AudioTechnica 2100. Pretty close, pretty good. All right, there's our A-B comparison. Okay, now let's talk about condenser microphones. I now have plugged in the blue Yeti. This is a relatively affordable, at about $130, condenser microphone that lots of people are using for podcasts. They seem to be very popular. What's nice is it's kind of comes all in one casing. It comes with its own stand. It's got a nice little tilt to it. You can kind of put it on your desk. It's got a lot of features. It's got a gain control. It's got zero latency headphone monitoring. It's got a USB plug and play out right into your computer with its own analog to digital converter, so you don't have to mess with any extra gear. That's all good. It's got a polar pattern selector, and it also has headphone volume, but also gain control knob. A condenser microphone is different than a dynamic microphone, and probably you can hear the difference here. It's circuitry, and it's circuitry that needs power. So what's the easiest way to get power to a microphone is through the microphone cable, through what's called phantom power, right? It's like you just keep going down the rabbit hole in this stuff. Phantom power is a real thing, and you'll need it for your condenser microphone. You do not need it for a dynamic microphone, but you will for a condenser. But don't worry, if you've got the USB version, USB covers it when you plug it into the computer. I've got the microphone sitting right here, just off camera, maybe a foot and a half away from me. And it sounds great. I can kind of move around. I can sort of do this. It's just going to pick up basically whatever I'm saying equally well, because it's picking up freaking everything in the room. I mean, that's also the downside of it, right? It's picking up the air conditioning hum, maybe the hum of the computer. It'll pick up any background noise. If someone walks in the door on the other side of the house, you'll hear it. The joke is if you can hear an ant crawling across the room somewhere on the floor, and it'll pick it up. If you can control that stuff like you can in the recording studio, condenser microphones are used every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Bottom line, your dynamic microphone for your basic, simple podcasting application is, in my opinion, probably the way to go. And the USB version of your dynamic microphone is probably the best. This is your AudioTechnica that we talked about. It's the 2100 USB. It's a dynamic microphone. It's $99. It's affordable. It sounds great. It's simple. It's plug and play. Get a windscreen for it, and you should be good to go. All right, so those are the basics. If you want to consider a few next level ideas on your own, you can look into compression and limiting and maybe a de-esser and some EQ. Otherwise, just remember the old maxim for podcasting. Nobody wants to listen to a podcast with poor audio. So get yourself a decent microphone, check them out, try them yourself, and good luck and enjoy.